for a former Lithuanian judge and parliament member jailed in Chicago, said Monday that a new court ruling could be a fatal blow to his client's long fight against extradition to Lithuania, saying she could be sent back any day now to the Baltic Sea nation, where she says she exposed a network of influential pedophiles. You see what happens when people expose what they are, they go after the people exposing the pedophiles and killers. Naringa Vikine, 48, had worked as a nursing home aide and florist in the Chicago suburb of Crystal Lake with her now 20-year-old son Carolus before being jailed. The charges she faces in Lithuania include disobeying an order to relinquish custody of her 4-year-old niece, whom she alleges was one of the ring's victims. She also is accused of hitting an officer, as dozens of police pried the girl from her arms in a raid. Vekni, who led an anti-pedophilia movement in Lithuania that swept her and 6 others into the country's parliament in 2012, told the Associated Press from jail last year that the charges are politically motivated and that shadowy figures she upset with her accusations could kill her if she's returned. Her attorney, Michael Monaco, told the AP Monday that Vikni was devastated when he went to see her at a Chicago jail, where she's been detained for the past 18 months, to break the news about last week's ruling. "It was the saddest thing I've had to do," he said. The 36-page written ruling, notice the 36 there, but I'm just a paranoid conspiracy theorist. Ruling from the Chicago-based 7th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals said Vikni would have her day in court in Lithuania. It said it was a U.S. court's role to ensure terms of the extradition treaty between the U.S. and Lithuania were complied with, not to decide if evidence points to guilt or innocence. Vikni would still have an opportunity to challenge the charges against her. The ruling said that opportunity must come in the Lithuanian justice system. I'm having a hard time following this a little bit here. So Vikni was a central figure in a scandal that gripped and divided her nation of 3 million before she went on the lam in 2013. As prosecutors prepare charges, she is viewed by some Lithuanians as a heroine for exposing a seedy criminal network, and by others as a manipulator who fabricated... Oh, please. I'm just so sick of it already. The events that involve Vikni include the slaying of another judge accused of molesting her niece, and the deaths of Vikni's brother, who leveled the initial child abuse accusation and was a suspect in the murder, conveniently. Vikni based her allegations about a pedophile network in part on a 2009 video in which her niece graphically describes... I'm going to get some water. Hold on. Okay, apologies for that. Vigny based her allegations about a pedophile network in part on a 2009 video in which her niece graphically describes, yeah, I'm sure the little child was just making up this, right? Several men sexually abusing her, but authorities said they weren't able to find evidence corroborating the girl's claims. Vikni says neither she nor her family has heard from the niece. Unbelievable. Since police seized her and returned her to the mother in 2012. I know what the answer to this is, but I can't say what it is. So, okay. The unanimous Seventh Circuit ruling by a 3-judge panel also said the U.S. had a wider interest in fulfilling their treaty obligations with countries like Lithuania, a member of NATO and the European Union. Anyways, I'm not going to read the whole thing. Just wanted to kind of get a gist here. or else this video would be really, really long. So I'm going to go just to the top of the article. It's by ABC News. The title is Jail Judge Alleging Pedophile Ring on Verge of Extradition. Always notice their codes. They love their little codes. Well, we got something for your little codes, you little freak, pervert sickos. And then here's another one. Coincidentally, during all this pandemic is going on, so Tuesday, May 19th, 2020, notice how the people writing this story, so this is, I think that's CBS number 2 KUTV in Utah, of all places, where all the Mormons and all that are. So, Utah State Bar defends judge's 210-day sentencing of a pedophile CEO. I don't know what to believe anymore, but like I said, I know what needs to be done. Utah State Bar defends judge's sentencing. Okay, that's good. I'm going to read some of it. I'm not going to read the whole thing. Salt Lake City, following KUTV's story on the 210-day sentencing of Douglas Saltzman. Yeah, he's got a name. Former Utah CEO who pleaded guilty to having more than 13,000 files of child pornography. By the way, 13 is also a code. Initiate. Child and toddler rape and bestiality. More from the, I'm just adding in there, more from the paranoid conspiracy theorist. Thought I talked about this like 12 years ago, 13, I don't know. The Utah State Bar has issued a statement on the sentencing. It's a story we first told you about in December. Okay, so that's a little bit of a weak story. But anyways, you get the gist. I know what the prisoners got for these folks. Just put them in prison, see what happens. Cleansing of the earth, baby. Okay. Let's get rid of that. Pedophile pastor in Pennsylvania allegedly tried to hire hitmen to kill church leader, judge. Look at those eyes. Okay, so a Pennsylvania youth pastor in prison for impregnating a 16-year-old girl. Mind you, these are the stories that they allow us to see. I'm just saying. To kill the leader of his megachurch as well as the judge who threw him behind bars. According to authorities, Jacob Malone, 37, was serving 3 to 6 years. There's that 36 again. I'm just crazy conspiracy theorist, though. In state prison after being convicted of sexually assaulting the teenage girl who gave birth to his child. While inside, he offered $5,000 for someone to kill. Is that all? To kill Pastor Harold Lee Wiggins, his boss at Calvary Fellowship Church in Exton, who he blamed for contacting police about his abuse of the girl. Way to go. The defendant also told the inmate that he would be willing to offer additional money for the murder of Judge Jacqueline Cody, who presided over the sexual assault case. He was particularly infuriated by the judge who handed him a stiffer sentence than one that he bargained for. Oh, sucks to be him. Malone was busted after a cellmate came forward to the cops. Good! He was charged by state police with attempted murder, criminal solicitation, attempted aggravated assault, and terroristic threats. The district attorney's office is deeply concerned about these extremely serious allegations. District Attorney Deb Ryan said, stressing that the two alleged targets are safe. The former pastor was initially arrested in January 2016 after the girl gave birth to his child and implicated him in sexually assaulting her. Wow. Malone pleaded guilty in April 2017, expecting a plea deal, sentencing of 2 to 4 years. That's not too much here. But Judge Cody surprised him at the sentencing, rejecting the lighter sentence and hitting him with 3 to 6 years. Wow, look at that, 36 again. Is that a 666? Because the victim wanted him to serve more time for what the judge called his inexcusable crimes. You are serving a sentence much lighter than the crime deserves, Cody told a handcuffed and shackled Malone at the time. According to the paper, Malone is still serving time in State Correctional Institute, Phoenix, in Skippack Township. Montgomery County. It was unclear whether he had been assigned to the attempted murder charges. Okay. Okay, let's see. What's the date on this one? Trying to keep these videos not too long. Okay, it just goes back to, this is no longer a theory. I just keep telling you guys it at the top. The ones that are telling you all these crazy stories of what you need to do right now and stay home and all that, they're the ones doing this stuff. So this was from KTLA number 5, LA's very own. So here we go. Ex-Mexico governor arrested in torture of journalist who investigated his role in the pedophilia ring. Yeah, we got something for you sickos. Okay. In this February 15th, 2006, it's kind of an old story. So this is an old picture, I guess. In this February 15th, 2006 file photo, the governor of the Mexican state of Puebla, Marin, speaks during a news conference in Puebla, Mexico. Mexican authorities arrested on February 3rd, 2021, the former governor on charges that he had a reporter, way to go, it's a conscious, who investigated his role in a pedophilia ring, illegally arrested and tortured. An official said, I wonder who that official is. This was reported by the Associated Press, posted February 4th, 2021, 9:28 a.m. I always look at the numbers. Okay. The arrest of a former Mexican governor on charges he ordered the torture of a journalist, which I guess is unnamed, gave hope to activists. I guess they're protecting her, maybe, possibly. Gave hope to activists who believe the case should reveal the ties between powerful businessmen, politicians, and organized crime, and strike a blow against Mexico's notorious impunity. Mario Marin, who governed the central state of Puebla from 2005 to 2011 for the Institutional Revolutionary Party, was arrested Wednesday in Acapulco and transported to a jail in Cancun. Good. Yeah, if you're lucky, maybe you get a young man there that was sexually abused as a child. See how it feels. He is charged with human rights violations in relation to the illegal arrest and torture of journalist Lydia Cajo. How do you say that? Cajo? Who in her 2005 book had detailed the role of other powerful men in a pedophilia ring that preyed on young girls. Does this strike you as familiar to the stories that we are seeing on the border? But I'm just a crazy, nutty, out of my mind conspiracy theorist when people are just handing their children over. But I'm nuts. Okay, back to the story. The press freedom organization Artículo 919, which is representing Cajo, said Marin could face up to 12 years in prison for the charge of torture if convicted. Famous words. Another numerical code. In a court appearance Thursday, Marin, 66. Of course he's 66. What other age would he be, right? Couldn't be 67. It couldn't be 68. It couldn't be 58. It's got to be 66. Requested to wait out the process under house arrest, citing problems with his kidneys. Aww. In fear of catching COVID-19 in jail, the judge denied the request. Good. Artículo 19 said via Twitter. According to Artículo 19, lawyer Leopoldo Maldonado, there is sufficient evidence against Marin, including recorded telephone conversations. He said the fact that the judge denied his request for house arrest was a good initial sign. I don't know about that. Marin's trial could be a watershed that cracks open the impunity pact that has prevailed in Mexico for decades. Now, yeah, there's just so much going on. I mean, I don't need to preach to the choir. If you guys are watching this, you already kind of, you know what's going on. Cajos. The Demons of Eden detailed the exploitation of girls and accused powerful textile magnate Jose Camel Nasid, of buying girls for $3,000. The good news is this is coming out, but let's see, what are we going to do about it? Nassif sued Cacho for defamation and asked his friend Marin to have her arrested. Defamation. Cacho recalled Thursday in an interview with W Radio that Marin gave the order for her to be tortured so that she would recant everything she had published. In December 2005, Marin sent police to arrest Cacho in Cancun and drive her to Puebla. During that 20-hour drive, she was tortured. He is the first governor arrested for acts of torture against journalists and linked, furthermore, with a ring of trafficking girls and boys, Cacho said. Interior Secretary Olga Sanchez Guerrero recognized Thursday that when she was a Supreme Court justice that there were violations of, Cajo's rights, and she spoke of psychological torture that endured. She added that the presumption of innocence against Marin must be maintained to ensure a fair trial. And we know that there's all fair trials there, right? I'm just saying, like here. Evidence gathered by Cajo contributed to the 2004 arrest of businessman James Sukarkuri in the United States. He is serving a sentence for child pornography in the same Cancun jail where Marin is being held. The accomplices reunite again, but now in very different conditions. Cajo wrote via Twitter Thursday, "There's no more luxury parties nor girls turn victims at the hands of the pederasts. There's no toast nor celebration. Journalism is the way toward justice." No, justice, we need to take justice. We've had enough of these children being hurt. It's just enough already. Okay, so Cajo was subject to threats for years and currently is living outside the country because she fears for her safety. She took her case to international bodies when the Mexican justice system failed to act. Wow, that's a big, huge surprise there, isn't it? Because they're in on it. In 2018, the United Nations Human Rights Committee recognized the violations of Cajo's human rights. Can you believe this? What about the children? Get me irritated. In January 2019, the current Mexican administration publicly apologized to Cajo for her. Oh, wait, sorry, I screwed that up. Okay, no, okay. So that was a violation of her rights. Okay, so Cajo for her arbitrary arrest. At the time, Cajo said, "We want all and each one of the masterminds on trial." That's one way to put it. For years, Marin moved freely in public despite Cajo's allegations. Finally, in 2019, a judge in Quintana Roo state issued a warrant for his arrest. Lydia is very excited but conscious that the risk increases, Maldonado said Thursday. Well, behind Cajo, there's going to be like thousands of people, so just keep it up. You know, and a lot of us believe in reincarnation, so just go. Okay, a police officer convicted of torturing Cajo was sentenced, probably a pedophile, and served a prison term. But there are 3 more police jailed awaiting sentences and 4 more people who are fugitives, Maldonado said. Among the fugitives is Nassif, who the Mexican Attorney General's office, located in Lebanon. Another is the former child of Puebla's judicial police. That's a little confusing. Okay. Jan Albert Hussein, Mexico representative of the Committee to Protect Journalists, celebrated Marin's capture but cautioned that this piece of justice pending for years is just a step because other suspects await arrest. Put him in the prison with all the the men that were sexually abused as children. That'll work out real good. That's what I'm thinking. You'll see justice then. Kako said experts had warned her the chances of retaliation could increase with Marin's arrest, but she said Thursday she would consider her quest for justice. We have to stop putting like power in other people's hands. Justicia for todos, okay? So justice for all. Things will change if we persist. Okay, so that was a pretty... I mean, you got to take everything with a grain of salt. But the good thing there is, like, we're just seeing it. Like, I've been talking about this for a long time. So, I don't know, maybe I'll pull up some other articles later, but I hope that you guys got a little from this, and you can always look it up yourself. The title is Ex-Mexico Governor Arrested in Torture of Journalists Who Investigated His Role in Pedophilia Ring. So, London Bridge is falling down. That's good. Peace and Basto, be of service to others.